Here in Laguna Beach, and welcome to the 55th Laguna Beach Patriots Day Parade. Just coming around the corner here in a little bit is our police escort and our theme banner. And as Vice President of the Parade, I'll tell you a little bit about how we picked our theme this year. It's called Towards Community and Unity. And the Parade Committee recognized that over the past 2 years, the nation and the community has undergone the extraordinary trauma of a deadly pandemic, along with the polarization of our people. And we note that the founders of our country intended that we be the United States of America. And united indeed, we have defended our nation from many threats over the 246 years of our history. And more recently, we've had the problem of the deadly pandemic, COVID. That is our honored color guard. That is a coin from American Legion Post 222, commanded by Stephen Jepson, and the Veterans of Foreign War Post, 586, commanded by John Gabbard. As I mentioned, more recently we've been having to deal with the COVID pandemic that's taken nearly 1 million American lives, far more than the losses from combat and all our wars combined. And all of us have experienced significant disruptions to our lives during this time. We know this year is going to be a smaller parade. We're reconstituting after these 2 years of lockdown. But our aim is that we act together in community. That's our thing. Here comes the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing Band, led on the march by Gunnery Sergeant Jeffrey Marks, who's just taken over as the drum major. He's also been a teacher at Laguna Beach High School's renowned performing arts program and an adjunct professor at UCI. We thank Andy Marticle for bringing this honor to our city. I wish we could say so much more about Andy this time around. And we'll get back to him. Right behind him is the South Orange County Vietnam veterans. They first marched in our parade in 1967, organized by Jim White of the Laguna Beach Police Department, now led by Pat Freeman, local insurance agent, who served as an infantry officer with the 25th Infantry Division in 1966 and 1967 when I was there, at the same time as a Marine. Coming up behind them, it's going to be our honored Patriot of the Year, Bill Sandler. Bill served as a Marine beginning in 1958 for 6 years, just before the Vietnam War. He's currently the commander of American Legion Post 838 in Irvine. He's also served as commander of our local American Legion and Veterans of Foreign War Posts. Bill has actively campaigned for a veterans cemetery in Orange County as well as supporting many projects. Playing now is the Beach High School Band. It's our host band. The Beach High School Breakers has performed in Carnegie as well as Colorado and Harbor in Hawaii. Bill Sandlin and John Gabbard, the commander of our VFW post 5868, getting up, escorting them up to the reviewing stand. Now we're pausing while the beach band gets ready.
I was hearing them practice earlier today. They are an amazing band.
Yep. Okay, they're the host band. They're not judged. And it's important to understand how this works. Coming next up is the Laguna Beach City Council and the committees riding in a Laguna Beach transit trolley. And our mayor currently is Sue Kemp. Our Mayor Pro Tem and former mayor is Bob Whalen. And the other council members are Tony Eisman, who is our longest serving member, Peter Blake, and George Weiss. And it's probably a good time to mention that the Parade Association's bylaws prohibit political and religious entries. The council is here, of course, in their official capacity. They are.
Reminding folks that the trolleys are free. Come join us when you visit.
And Dad, did you know that the Laguna Beach transit system is the oldest one in Orange County?
I did know that, and I learned that from you.
Okay, coming next up is our Citizen of the Year, Cindy Bruin. She's the founder of Laguna Beach Laguna Live! Exclamation point, which brings good music to Laguna Beach. Concerts and a music festival, as well as supporting music education and the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach. And I have a jazz concert at 7th grade. We thank Cindy for bringing music to our town. Great lady. Lost her ultimate musician practicing here for 3 years. She professionally is a psychologist. And Cindy likes to remind us that she's not a musician, but for me personally, the program has greatly expanded my own horizons. That's a quote from her. The annual Laguna Beach Music Festival is done in association with the Harmonic Society of Orange County. Now, the band behind her is the Thurston Middle School Band. And these are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And this is how good music gets started in Laguna Beach. It starts in the schools. It had a very rich music program over the years. Both my parents participated in it. And I'm not sure what they're trying to play here.
I'm always so impressed with all the bands that join us, how well prepared they are, how professional they are, how good they sound.
Yeah, Dan, it starts at a very young age, and Laguna's been very lucky and school power. foundation that supports the school system here has done a great job in helping this to be a reality. Next, they're selected by the faculty and staff of high school. Members of the class of 2022 selected on the basis of their scholarship, leadership, and service. Morgan they're both academic all-stars. Morgan has an interest in biological sciences and medical core STEM studies. And then later on, the nurse practitioner. Will Conkey, you see walking up here, is also an academic all-star. He runs varsity cross country and volunteers on Student Advisory Council, founder of the Team Tutor Club, which helps students, give students instruction at the middle school and elementary school level. In 2020, Will was voice state representative for American Legion Post 222. His interest is in economics and public policy. He told me he hopes to attend Berkeley, Georgetown, or UCLA, and like every other kid that's a senior at Laguna Beach High School, they are waiting to get their letters of acceptance. So they've now here's the elementary school band, and as I mentioned, that School Power is a big sponsor of this. Millions of dollars over the years arts, music, STEM, socio-emotional care. And these are fifth grade students from Elmore and Top of the World Elementary School. And of course, thank you. Here's the local arts foundation, which loves teaching art to everyone in Virginia Beach. They provide lectures, workshops for all ages and abilities throughout the city and online as well. And they're giving free pencils apparently to all shop right on Logan.
And the arts play such a big part in our city.
And right behind them is the 1954 Buick Special. One of the first cars that General Motors made that had a wraparound windshield. It's a beauty. And here come our Artist of the Year, which is the Laguna Beach Playhouse, celebrating, well, kind of celebrating their 100th anniversary on their 102nd year because they got delayed. It started in 1920 as an amateur community theater, in which now the Pepper Tree parking lot, and you can still see the callboard Pepper Tree lot there, right where it began. And then in 1969, on land donated by Nellie Gale Mold, bought the new playhouse for our city along with the professional staff and actors, and the artistic director, Andy Barnacle. Took it over to professional level. That's the bowling club, Laguna Beach Bowling Club, 90 years young, and they're a member of the USA and World Bowls. That is a beautiful pre-1927 Rolls Royce. See the silver lady on top of the radiator. And they are lawn bowling is enjoyed in over 51 countries. I'm watching at the Chrysler Park. Here's our athlete of the year, Rick Conkey. He's kind of a legend in this town. He's a nationally ranked tennis player, international coach. He's currently leading the Laguna Beach High School tennis team, award-winning seasons. and basically triple the size of the program. He's also quite renowned as a coach using very innovative techniques such as tennis ball firing machines, radar guns to bring out the talent and skills of everybody. There's kissing Sandy St. John. And next up is the color guard, the Orange County chapter, the Sons of the American Revolution, and the color guard. And then the following color guard are dressed up as Marines, something dear to my heart, Marines in the Revolutionary War. And here comes the Daughters of the American Revolution. Members of the Patients' Right chapter, one of the founders of our parade, founded in 1967, led by members Emily Ross and Grace Wethy. The BAR has been part of our community since 1939. They provide scholarships and volunteer thousands of hours each year, preserving American history and securing America's future through better education for children. And they didn't bring their 1941 Ford truck like we were hoping. But out in the wings is waiting, and right in turn is the Barstow Junior High School Band. And we know these kids had to get up way early this morning, come down the Lone Pass and be with us. And we really thank them for being with us. Now, the deal is that they have to stop right before the turn. Pause, start up under their marshal, their drum major, and these are middle school kids. And of course, one of the things they get judged on is how well they stay in step and march, come around the corner. They are judged by professional judges from the Southern California Schools and Band Orchestra Association. And we've been happy to have them here now for close to 50 years. And the judges, that is, not the school. But very happy. A lot of these kids come all the way down here to be in our parade.
It always impresses me how far people come from to be part of our parade. I love that.
Yeah, we really do, Dan. Let's give a listen to them. It's a junior high kids. And you can imagine how hard it is to get band practice during the time of COVID. And here comes the Exchange Club of the Beach, nice Mercedes, with our favorite sports band, Skipper Dorado. We're very happy to have him here today. He's our Mr. Baseball, recipient of our Lifetime Achievement Awards, former Grand Marshal from us, and he is much loved in this country. Skipper's been going through some health challenges lately, and we are really happy to have him here in the parade. Next up is the yeah, that's the Laguna Woods Senior Clown Alley in the car right in front of us. They're the largest senior clown association in the world, ranging in age from 68 to 100. Every year they run a 12-week clown college for the young at heart. And AB seniors and the Orange County Register lauded the Senior Clown Alley for bringing smiles to the pandemic. And they love to receive the money from the world. by definition, they're the seniors. I don't know how old they are, but coming up right behind them is the Laguna Beach Seniors entry from the CIVIC, which is the community center right up the hill, named in honor of a journalist who loved the people of Laguna Beach, who wrote for decades about them. And accompanying that is Tom Joliet leading his ukulele band. And the annual fundraiser for the CVQ is Legacy Hall. Last year, virtually, April 23rd, the same in real life. Dan, you asked me who CCQ is? Well, she was my mom, Dan. Yeah. She loved Laguna Beach very much. We were a Marine Corps family that was made to feel welcome in this town. And here is Sally's Fund. Sally's Fund provides a senior transportation organization, donation-based service, providing escorted and senior and assisted transportation for local disabled residents and for those ages 60 and older within a 30-mile radius. And during the height of the pandemic, Sally's Fund expanded services to deliver groceries, hot meals, masks, and other necessities to seniors, continue with their mission to make it possible for seniors to remain in their homes and live independently. One of my personal goals, enhancing the quality and dignity of their lives. Here comes our neighborhood bankers from U.S. Bank. This bank invests in human potential by driving the power of possible and delivering best-in-class financial solutions and services to communities across Southern California. Mainstay. And they're right there on Glenneyre Street for more than 40 years. They're proud sponsors of our parade. They help us with scholarships and prizes for our contest entries. And I think in that we had Regana, Richard, Lori, and Ray, who is a Navy veteran. Next is the Pageant of the Masters, and who are reenacting an imaginary pause in a historic conflict, ceasefire circus circa 1976, and what could lose a ceasefire in another faraway place. The Redcoats and our Continental Boys in Blue march in sync to the best replica revolutionary drums, and these handcrafted props and costumes were featured in the 2021 Pageant of the Masters, Made in America. And the pageant is looking forward to another summer of pomp and pageantry with the theme Wonderful World. And by the way, Lee Chalice Davey, who's the head of it, has wants to remind everybody that they're working on the pageant for this coming summer. Still seeking more volunteers. And please consider volunteering for the Delightful Summer Show in your own hometown. Who would want to participate? All ages and sizes are welcome. And give them a call. That's you know that Jack Benny played his violin at the Festival of Arts.
Wow, that's big news. Come out here.
And started in 1932. And up on El Paseo Street. And the street was 10 cents. That's when they introduced the Capital Vivant and made it what it is today. Here comes Scout Troop 35 and Compact 35. Are chartered by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 5868 here in Laguna Beach. They meet in the Laguna Presbyterian Church. And youth from kindergarten to through 12 learn citizenship, leadership, camping, and life skills. The Scoutmasters today are Michael Lindsay and Jane Key, and the VFW representatives are John Gabbard, who's the commander of Post 5868, and Quartermaster Frank Daniel, also a member of our committee. During the last 75 years, Troop 35 has guided over 150 youths to Eagle Scout, including 3 girls in 2020. It's the first group of female Eagle Scouts. Dick Maxwell, who is now 95, and a longtime leader and supporter of Troop 35, and nearly as long as he and Carol have been married. This is about 62 years, and I do that from memory. Those involved in the troop are our own committee members, Tom and Captain Kay. We had to cancel the course entries this year because of a breakout of deadly equine virus.
It's interesting.
And yeah, it's been very sad, but right now it's coming to Laguna Beach Community Clinic, founded over 50 years ago. It's a medical home of choice for over 6,200 locals, including many of our artists, seniors, students, and caregivers. And during the past 2 years, the clinic has been protecting our first responders and residents with COVID-19 testing, treatment, and vaccination programs. The clinic proudly unveiled its fully renovated facility, featuring a full-service pharmacy, triage room, and nutrition center. Originally founded as the Laguna Beach Free Clinic, and previous Citizens of the Year, Doctors Tom Bent and Corey Jorgensen, gave generously of their service and did much to get the clinic up to its present standard. And in the 1980s, Dr. Corey Jorgensen was one of the first physicians to begin treating a mysterious disease that became known as AIDS. Now, the people you're hearing beeping, or beeping, is the Capistrano Valley Model A Club, and who are dedicated to the restoration and preservation of the Model A Ford. And Model A was Ford's contribution to putting America on wheels in the 1920s. Henry Ford believed that his workers should be paid enough so that they could own one. And it's the famous Ford is what gives the Model A its distinctive sound. Nearly 5 million Model A's were made by Ford from 27 to 31. The engine's 201 cubic inch, 4 cylinders of 40 horsepower, and could do 65 miles an hour. I'm not sure with those brakes if want to go that fast. Here comes Laguna Presbyterian Preschool, serving our early learners in the town for over 60 years, teaching our kids to love one another and earth by treating all things with kindness and respect. Another one of our crown jewels in the town. Both my kids went to the press. Partners with our families by providing resources and support, as in the parenting workshop for mothers of preschoolers, both for children and parents in the beach. And another equally treasure in our town are the Annalisa schools, serving the community since 1968. It's about 54 years now. They educate kids schools 2 through 12 at 3 campuses, and leading the procession are members of the Annalisa's Animal Care Program, followed by their band and choir. One of the campuses at Laguna Canyon is next to the Laguna Canyon Conservancy headquarters building. It's a great location.
And they're signing. They're signing as they're singing, which is always cool to watch.
That is really cool. Yeah, they're singing Amazing Your Grace and signing in American Sign Language. It's neat.
Excuse me.
Now for viewers, we have to tell you that we're operating from a fixed camera. So I don't, at times there's going to be this guy that's standing in front of the camera and blocking our view.
Yes, sir.
And
Sir.
there you go. This is okay. And in German, it's written Kleine Kinderschule, which means school for kids. There. Again, like I say, long time presence here. 3 different locations. Source of pride.
That's a big delegation.
That is a big delegation, Dan. And coming up behind them is the Laguna Beach Girl Scout. And for more than 100 years in this town, we provided girls ages 5 to 17 with more ways than any other organization to learn and lead by discovering themselves, connecting with others, and taking action. Girl Scouts are groundbreakers, big thinkers, innovators, role models, and leaders from all walks of life. And they help make our community a better place by contributing countless community service hours to address important issues such as poverty, homelessness, child and elder care programs, animal welfare, and the environment. And coast to coast, around the globe, Girl Scouting girls encourage confidence and character to make a positive impact in the world. Very nice to have you here.
It's been cloud today, such good weather, it's a perfect parade day.
Yeah, Dan, we know, we want to tell our viewers that this is a rebuilding year. We have 77 entries, and usually we have 100. We're emerging out of this COVID pandemic and rebuilding. We've got a good weather's nice, pleasant, a little breezy, cool, but still having a parade, and we're delighted to be here after a 2-year layoff. It's basically reasserting who we are as a community. And as I say, our motto this year is towards community and unity. This is the Ability Awareness Project, the Laguna Beach nonprofit leading to the Laguna Beach Kindness Program, the mission to build a unified, interconnected world free of bullying. Founder is Shadi Portashi, the Goodwill Ambassador of World Kindness, the city of Laguna Beach, and is now Secretary General of the World Kindness USA. She is joined by board members in the car. Talented singer Sydney Noel and volunteers who remind us to hold each other close and be united in love and kindness. The Laguna Beach Parade Association is a all volunteer operation. It's very much a local organization. We gather try to put on a good community parade. It's been a rite of passage now for 3 generations. Here comes the Laguna Beach Little League Parade, celebrating their 70th anniversary this year. The Little League baseball program includes divisions for kids 4 to 16. They practice on field fundamentals and have exciting playing games in a competitive environment. Rebel Field in North Laguna, Boat Canyon. And Rebel Field was named after Jesse Rebel, who was one of our mayors back in the 1950s. And it's another beloved spot in Laguna Beach.
So how long have you lived here?
Our family's been here since 1957, Dan. Came here. My dad was a Marine, got stationed at El Toro, and my mother got one look at Laguna Beach and said, "This is it." It was our 12th move as a family, and she said, "This is going to be home for the long haul." And so myself and my younger brothers have set down roots here, and kids were born here, and very happy to be part of this.
I did that 13 years ago now. I haven't left it, so.
It's a great place. And coming up now is another school band. It's Bassett High School Band coming out from La Fuente. They are called the Olympians. And the band director is Manuel Gutierrez. The color guard coach is Chris Rigosa. And Dulce Bravo is the drum major. And the music they're playing today is American Sweet. They've been participating in the parade now for something like a dozen years now, and we're happy to have them back. Let's give a listen to the music. Very short today, and it's a pleasure to start seeing school bands get reconstituted. Really difficult in the last 2 years. So you can't play music together because of the COVID environment. And we're glad to have even bands next year. Coming up is the Laguna Beach Garden Club, my favorite interest. Committed to the advancement of gardening, horticulture, ecology, and conservation through education and participation in related community projects. And they were first organized here in 1928. We've got 200 members. Their activities include planting and maintenance of several school city pocket parks, which are these treasures, some of which lead you down to the beach. Funding 3 school gardens and scholarships at Laguna Beach High School, Saddleback College, and LCAT. The club hosts speakers at their monthly meetings. And a lot of funds are raised through their annual gate and garden tour, which is going to be held this year on Saturday, May 7th. We get to see some real fast gardens.
Visit Laguna Beach Garden Club.org and visit them on Facebook. It's incredible that Laguna is. Thank you guys. Keep it up. We need more gardens in our town. Right?
Some years they come and perform with raking brigade. They have the power, use the power force since that's not allowed in Laguna Beach. They're a great crew.
Women and girls education, so they give scholarships to high school and college students, to elementary students, and support a science camp.
Here comes the Laguna Beach branch of the American Association of University Women, and the AUW is a national organization. Our chapter was formed in 1967 They work to advance women and girls, giving scholarships to the high school and college students, tutoring elementary students, and supporting the science campus. Now that car is don't fail me now, Charlie, it's a 1958 Ford convertible with wire wheels. That is very cool. I grew up in a family of motorheads.
You know your car, Charlie.
Well, nobody appreciates it. You grow up in a family of motorheads, Dan, and you can't help it. And this one is in really nice shape. And I think this is the kind that where the old hardtop holds back into the back of the car. Here comes the entry for our library. Orange County Library. It's a gathering place for community members of all ages to access free educational resources, meeting programs, storytelling, book groups, art exhibits, local history, and of course books. And they volunteers meet at the Friends of the Library Bookshop, which is underneath. Great place to do. Mesmerized kids gather in the interactive fairy garden to spark their imaginations and observe natural world. The next entry are the Laguna Beach Chamber Singers. And the organization's been born out of a strong desire to bring inspiring choral members, choral chamber music rather, performed by excellence in Hardtop Street. They have weekly rehearsals in Laguna Beach, meeting in person and via Zoom during the pandemic. And Laguna Beach Chamber Singers hope to return to live performances in mid-June with an eclectic program portraying life's journey through composers such as Johannes Brahms, Joaquin Desperez, Alvin, and Craig Johnson. Joby Tom. Craig Johnson.
Programs range from
right in front of us now are the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach, one of my favorites. Since 1952, the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach has been serving children and families in our community, dedicated to social, emotional, physical, intellectual, healthy development of young people. Serves over 300 students per day. Programs range from licensed preschool to high school student, 3 clubhouses and 5 school-age programs. And at the Boys and Girls Club play is serious business. And among our big supporters is Pageant, Doreen, and Lee Butler, who are the grand marshals in 2012. Just have to say we lost General Lee Butler was the 4-star general who was the last commander of the Strategic Air Command, the first commander of the United States. Here's the LaFayette Center, which provides English language instruction for child care, serving local residents for over 25 years. They're also located at the Boys and Girls Club, and books and materials are provided free of charge. English instruction helps the residents find jobs, pursue citizenship, and qualify for higher educational opportunities. Now, just lining up at the band is the Ponddale High School Band. Another band whose members got way too early this morning to come down here. And but we have not, they're among, we haven't seen much of them, but I think maybe their first year. Viewers probably should be aware that the band season normally for high school bands is in the fall, because they perform along with the football program. This is the Ponddale High School Band since 1956. Been entertaining young and old alike since throughout Southern California. And they wear traditional Scottish white doublets, plain tartan uniform, led by drum major Harold Vasquez and guard captain Jocelyn Marroquin. And for which to thank Laguna Beach, we're going to perform once again another Patriots Day Parade. That's right. I think this is maybe their second appearance. Let's give a listen. Now is the Assistant League of Laguna Beach, and back in 1952, they have 30 members here to support their local philanthropy, as well as assist to our high school here. Most of the Assistant League's efforts are going towards children and military seniors, and funding from the organization proceeds of their thrift shop on Glenneyre Street, which is a great place to buy used clothes, and where donations of used clothing, shoes, household items, toys, sports equipment, and small furniture are repurposed and sold.
I spent a lot of paychecks in that place.
It is. I love going into that shop, and they're always looking for new ones. Here comes the Bluebell Foundation for Cats out in Laguna Canyon. It's a nonprofit organization that provides a forever home for senior cats whose human companions can no longer care for them, and for local shelter cats who are older and overlooked by people seeking to adopt young cats and kittens. The Bluebell Foundation for Cats Sanctuary provides personalized, lifelong care, lots of love. Cats are trusted to it. And they've recently set up a beautiful xeriscape garden. I think Ruben Corey is setting it again. And it's just gorgeous. Here comes our Laguna Beach Fire Department. Leading the fire department is one of the department's command vehicles, with Fire Chief Mike Garcia and Battalion Chief Andrew Hill inside. The vehicle is a 2016 Dodge Ram, equipped to manage any disaster in the city, integrated with the police department for communications. Behind the fire chief is fire ambulance number 2, a 2021 Leader Type 3 ambulance. Ambulance 2 is the first of 3 to be delivered to our city and starting with Type 2. The fire department will operate 2 ambulances to provide service to the citizens of our city along the 3rd backup. Coming into view is the left wing fire engine. And get up on all the terrain that surrounds our town. This is a 2018 Type 3 fire engine, 4-wheel drive, phone and medical equipment, off-road use, locally and throughout the state. Of course, the mutual aid program. And in 2019, the Beach Fire Department celebrated its 100th year of serving its citizens. Retired Fire Captain Isabel former Marine out of Dojo, our Grand Marshal in 2003. This was a Green Roller era Marine who served out of Dojo, as I mentioned, and he was in his late 80s and presently hosting the Bring Back a Lunch Up for Susie Q. Here's our Laguna Beach Marine Safety Department in a 1974 CJS Jeep. It's a replica of the emergency response vehicle used by the lifeguards in 74 to 86, followed by the current emergency response vehicle. Each vehicle designed to carry to emergency scuba search and rescue, emergency response, coastal cliff rescue, and backcountry extraction, swiftwater flood rescue, along with other aquatic-related emergencies. Very key to safety in our town. We've made over 5,000 rescues. Here comes the Evil Club. Since 1933, the ladies of the Evil Club at Laguna Beach have been supporting local organizations that benefit our community through programs that aid and assist our youth, our seniors, the arts, our artisans, marine life, and many social programs. It's also our oldest charitable organization. That's a the club supports a wide range of philanthropic programs, including the civic, Playa, Youth Shelter, Friendship Shelter, Hellcat, Community Clinic, and Little League. It's the first organization to grant a scholarship to Laguna Beach High School, and they continue to support it today. Here is the Laguna Beach Police Department, represented by our new chief, Jeff Calvert, who's been serving our city for 25 years. Accompanying Chief Calvert is Captain Rachel Johnson. You can see her right there with Sandy St. John. Rachel Johnson is a 20-year law enforcement veteran and former Marine Corps sergeant. Okay. Captain David Jarodzinski is a 25-year law enforcement veteran and former Army Ranger. And following the chief are the department school rescue officers in the colorfully decorated vehicle, Ashley Coteen and Fred Yilding in the SRO car, decorated by students from El Moro and Top of the World elementary school students. The city kind of alternates between bringing in chiefs and outside police departments and bringing them up through our own ranks. Jeff Calvert, one of our own, who succeeded Chief Ella. And it goes the other way too. Our former police captain, Darren Glenneyre, was picked to become chief of his own hometown in Placentia. And just recently, I found out, came to become police chief in Westminster. Yeah. And we also have, of course, the Citizens Police Academy, get trained in the use of riding volunteers in unarmed police vehicles that you see around the time. They do things like do home security and safety checks and welfare checks.
And we've been getting comments from our viewers. We want to say hello to all our viewers. Thank you for watching us.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. Coming up is another junior high school band, the Dorado Intermediate Band from Roland Heights. And I believe this is the first appearance of this band in the parade. They're under the direction of Kevin Chang. And the band and color guard are led by drum major Elaine Tao, color guard captains Isabella Galvadon, and April Ramirez. The instructional coaches are Brian Ray and Wendy Davila, or Davila, I'm not sure which. Now they are at the turn getting ready to be judged by our long-standing judges from the Southern California Schools and Band Orchestra Association. Here they come. Let's give a listen. Grandparents. Hydrated and refreshed. The next entry is the banner from the Atmosphere Laguna Foundation. And they say hello and meow. 2017, nonprofit, the Atmosphere Laguna Foundation has remained dedicated to finding forever homes for fabulous felines. Okay. Their mission is to serve Laguna Beach and our neighboring communities to improve the lives of cats and kittens. They spread the news, adopt, and not shop. Atmosphere Foundation wants all our rescue kitties to live in their best dying lives, and they are the matchmaker now. All right, here comes one of our most famous entries around the corner. I don't know if you can see them yet in the field of view. They're very colorful. It's JJ and the Bibis, the Laguna Beach Belly Dancers organization. Led by Jerry St. James, who teaches beginning and intermediate belly dancing classes in the Laguna Beach Recreation Program, I believe right up there at the CVQ. And they invite you to learn something new about the oldest dance on earth. They've been an entry for many years in the parade. I don't know how they keep this up for the entire parade. By the way, I had to look this up. Habibi is an Arabic term of endearment, meaning beloved or my darling.
They're about to come into view, so, but I ran into them coming up to the parade this morning, and they were so happy, so energized.
It's a little brisk, cool out here. I researched the meaning of the word Habibi, and I thought for years it meant whirlwind, like they're dancing, but I was wrong. That's a haboo. So, what do I know?
Okay, so my highlight so far has been hearing you say kaboo and meow. So
it's, let me tell you, this isn't an easy job, man. Okay, what do we got here? The Anchorline Bar, I'm scheduled to be there. There's Jerry, who's right in front of us now. Here we go. Think about it. I see a few women of a certain age in this group that I've got to hand it to them. There's a lot of energy out there. And I hope they're not getting too chilled, but it's very entertaining. Okay, here we go with the Anchorline Bar. Didn't make it, I guess. They're all down enjoying. But this is a beautiful, about a 1957 Porsche Speedster from the Rotary Club of Laguna Beach, the She's been here since 1931, serving our community as well as the world. It's a best of the speedsters, of course, ever made. Auto service of himself. These are cards that are part of their the Rotary Club's annual Festival of Cards at the Festival of Arts grounds, called Grapes for Grads. That's a beautiful, about a 1950 Rolls Royce standard steel saloon. I would say that because I owned a same body style for many years. And they're the Grapes for Grads wine tasting event. And October 2nd will be their annual classic car show. And it's really a lot of fun to be in. I love my car there. I've got an old Porsche and a reliable place of four Porsches that are entered. I have a non-standard muffler, Dan. I don't have enough. I need to scrape up some money to buy an authentic muffler system for this car. Maybe I'll get to be third someday.
All right, folks, this is your chance to support
the Rotary. A lot of fun.
We'll raise the funds for you somehow. We'll do a hard drive. See what we did there?
Okay, lining up at the bend now is the Artesia High School band. As I say, this is not band season for high schools. That's in the fall, but things have gotten turned around because of the COVID pandemic. And I think this is Artesia's first appearance in the parade. They're from Lakewood by Long Beach, and they are led under the direction of drum major Stephanie Herrera, woodwind captain Aisha Aranda, brass captain Jacob De La Rosa, and percussion captain Aaron Dominia. The band keeps the spirit of military marching bands alive with their interpretations of classic marching band in their repertoire. And here they start. Let's give a listen. I'm from Long Beach, the Artesia High School band. Let's say Lakewood, I'm sorry. We're actually from Lakewood, which is here. Right here. Coming up is the Laguna Beach Dojo, which is currently celebrating 19 years here at Laguna Beach. Down to our communities and how to stay safe and healthy. Led by Master Instructor Jeff Patrick. Students are focused, confidence, determination, and more. And adults can expect to experience acute flexibility, balance, and strength. So start your springtime off with a kick drop in for a free lesson. See what benefits you can get from the martial arts. And here you see them with Japanese-style kendo sticks. Holds that you see. Stylized form of exercise. The banner is thing that will support our troops. The kids in their judo type robes, some of them colored, of course, they sport various grades of achievement. And in case you're wondering about all the laughing going on, this is the Laguna Beach Laughter Club. And they welcome nearly 50,000 people laughing on the beach to have fun, relieve stress, improve health, and make new friends. And how they pull us off for whole roof, it's quite good. It's a practice form of exercise without needed jokes or comedy. Join laughers, even if you don't have a sense of humor. And at first, laughers perform as a form of group exercise. And soon it becomes real and contagious, and everyone has a great time. Everybody of all ages are welcome. It's free. Any Sunday morning, through Sunday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. or Saturday at 10 a.m. They meet at Bird Rock Beach on the northernmost end of Main Beach, San Below High School Park, just below the beach. Here's Stu News and a beautiful late model Thunderbird. Visit Stu News online, read all the news, subscribe. And late Stu Sapper was our Citizen of the Year in 2016. Great guy. He saw what was happening to print journalism in the age of computers and pioneered Laguna's first online newspapers. He was a very colorful guy. He left us a few years back. Here's the honors course. We're going to be top of the world. And Elmore Elementary School. Fine course. And they've been performing the parade for over 20 years. Let's cheer them all on. 10 and 12 years. Great job. Here comes the Women's Club of Laguna Beach, which was organized in 1922 by women with an interest in providing education and awareness of women's related issues, as well as contributing civic and social philanthropic services to our community. Celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. The Women's Club has 150 members and hosts several community events each year up on St. Anne's Drive. And they're committed to providing assistance to local children and families with many community outreach programs. Passengers in the car, let's see who they are. It's President Kitty Malcolm and our 2019 Woman of the Year, Betsy Jenkins. Betsy's in the far side. Betsy's a longtime serving board member of the Unified School District. She and her husband, Dr. Gary Jenkins, long been involved in the community Citizens of the Year 2012. Now here's one dear to my heart, No Square Theater, long established nonprofit for community theater, our only community theater dedicated to providing performance theatrical experience for performers of all ages to nurture our love of theater, performing arts. There's Bree Burgess Rosen there waving her thing. That's a 1950 Willis C-33 Chief, decorated in Marine Corps colors in memory of Major General Charles Pilger. It's the reason for St. Patrick's Day. My dad. And serial number is his serial. 1936. Here's the Laguna Beach County Water District, and the Laguna Beach County Water District is proudly provided safe and prudently managed, and they have managed it very prudently. Retail water service to their customers here in my county here, approaching their 100th anniversary. They're encouraging efficient use of water. That's a 1959 Chevy business sedan. Of course, we do have an ongoing drought. We got a little sprinkle rain the other night. We are in the middle of two extraordinarily dry years in a row, and more than ever, we need to conserve water. And encourage you to visit their beautiful low water garden right in front of their headquarters, one with the Spanish headquarters and the Pageant fire. Okay, coming up here is Laguna Beach LGBTQ Heritage and Culture Alliance of Laguna Beach. It's an organization made up of community leaders and civic organizations. They work hard to support policy that ensures that LGBTQ residents and visitors are reflected, honored, and celebrated throughout Laguna Beach, working year-round to build unity and commerce through the power of diversity. And that's one of the things that makes this town so great. And Dan, you and I should talk a little bit about the history of Laguna Beach. It's a welcoming place for folks of all the LGBTQ community. And it's a history that really needs to be written. And
Laguna Beach is rich in LGBT history, HIV history. There's a lot of it that we don't know. So these folks are trying to get those stories out.
And I really hope we do. Our famous future playwright, Tennessee Williams, lived in Laguna Beach. Was coming to terms with his homosexuality. Worked here at the Inn Center, Canyon Acres. He would become one of the greatest playwrights in American history. And as a boy here in the 1950s, I remember one of the first publicly recognized transgender persons, a former soldier named Christine Jorgensen. Why here? Well, it does say a lot about the welcoming spirit of our community.
I've been here for 13 years.
That's what makes the town great. Here's the Laguna Tunes Community Chorus. They've been creating community through joy, group singing, and that's their motto. The chorus has given Laguna Beach a voice for 20 years, singing all kinds of music, and having a great time doing it. No auditions are necessary. You don't have to read music. They'll make you sound good, even if you don't. So who wants to sing and have some fun with a great group of people? Join Laguna Tunes. I know about it.
Where do I sign up? Let me go.
A lot of them also are performed in No Square Theater and annual Roast of the Coast called Lunatics. There they are. Thanks, guys. Thank you. All right. And here's the Laguna Camaro. That is the symbol of KXFM, our local nonprofit FM radio station, on their new frequency. Pay attention, everyone. 104.7, and tune in for generational alt rock information, all things Laguna Beach. And the studio operates on contributions. The community has the studios down the South Coast Highway. Here's the Laguna Beach Board of Realtors. And since 1924, they're on their 100. They've been an active part of business in the charitable community here in Laguna Beach. Over 800 members, who all recognize them as your friends and neighbors, who serve as leaders on nonprofit boards, committees, and local government organizations. A realtor finds you a dream home and protects you right to it. And over the years, through the community environment involvement, the Laguna board realtors assisted in programs and volunteered for local nonprofits such as the Laguna Food Pantry, Glenwood House, and the CCQ. Realtor knows your neighborhood, neighbors and volunteers make it better. So say, who is your realtor? That's a beautiful Jaguar XK150.
And I had a chance to interview our realtor of the year for you. So she's on the pre-show video.
That is a 58 Jag according to the license plate. It's a great one. It's the affiliate of the year. A Prius. Not as cool as the Jag. Here comes the Sawdust Art Festival. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to the public on the arts, and since its foundation, it has celebrated and supported the work of Laguna's own artists and makers for 56 years and draws over 200,000 visitors annually, and they're beautiful and magical site. And they're opening up this year on June 24th. So it looks like we're Sawdust and the Parade are the same age. Think back to that year, 1967. Spent that whole year in Vietnam. It was, to say the least, a turbulent year.
You know, some of the greatest things about Laguna Beach are Patriots Day Parade, Sawdust, Pageant of the Masters, Hospitality Night, and all great events that we have here.
All pulses together as a community with unity. Here comes the Oak Avenue Intermediate Band from Temple City. They've been performing in the parade for many, many years and do very well, I might add. They are the Royals, and they have been performing throughout Southern California. And the band director is Kyle Smith, and the auxiliary area and drill team directors are Katie Arigi and Katie Morris. Two Katies. And as I say, coming here for a long time. Let's give a listen to your music. And here comes the South Coast Water District. District provides water and sewer service to the residents and businesses of South Laguna Beach, Dana Point, and parts of San Clemente and San Juan Capistrano. And the drought urges to note that the drought is upon us again. And we want to remind you that every drop counts. Thank you. They've got a great equipment. It all works too. Good News Laguna is coming up. They are shining a light on the good things happening in our corner of the world. Good News Laguna is an Instagram and Facebook page dedicated to sharing good news happening locally. Good news right now. We are in a very difficult time in the history of the world. You may have noticed early on yellow necktie. Top of the Hill Gang is coming in next. These are these characters on colorfully worn. What I like about them is they are just some folks with time on their hands, and previous and current members include nobody of note. This is a group I aspire to join.
Elvis is alive in the beach.
I'm not at the top of the hill. I'm out in the canyon. Okay. All right. We're going to hear some sound like pyrotechnics. It is actually the traditional end of our parade. Spurs and Sat. And they've been in the parade every year since about 1905, or 2005, rather. And the reenactment group dedicated to keeping up the history of the Old West alive. And they use costuming, guns, display. They're based in San Juan Capistrano, and they're promoting education and appreciation for American frontier history, and they perform throughout Southern California. Tombstone. They put on a kind of morality play that has been the final entry of the parade. Wait, I say morality play. Justice always triumphs over evil. Spurs and Sat. I don't know how good this is displayed on our video, but they're firing off a lot of vintage. Those are blanks, by the way. With not smokeless, but the other kind of. And I want to make sure. A bunch of colorful dudes, I'll say that for sure.
No, they're not having your attention.
No, Dan says they have not been drinking. Although it's been known that a number of our participants do retire to the Marine Room down Ocean Avenue at the end of their entry and do their part to continue a good time.
They look like they've been a good time.
Well, the final entry is in fact our parade president, Ed Hankey, who you can see hanging out the window of this Chevy SUV. And he is inviting, first of all, he's saying thanks to you all for coming and invite you all to join us for our 56th parade on Saturday, March 4th, 2023, at a time that we're going to have this parade rebuilt to its full glory of 100 entries, lots more bands, and a lot more. Okay, that's our action. I can't say enough good things about Ed and his family. Ed's a retired firefighter. Kathy is a nurse. Their son, also named Ed, was a Marine who was previously wounded in Iraq and holds a decoration that no Marine wants to get, called the Purple Heart. Ed is last today because he is also our very skilled parade starter, which many have observed that, like any community parade, is very much like herding cats. But it's our parade, Dan, and we hope you all have enjoyed it. there's our hospitality hostess right in front of Ed there waving. That's Sandy St. John. And the cleanup parade. We didn't have any horse entries today, as I mentioned, because of the equine virus that has been affecting horses. They all had to be in a quarantine. And the Marine Band was very happy to learn that they were not marching behind the Mounted Color Guard, which is we have had here a few times over the years.
Well, it's been a pleasure, sir. This is our second time. Hopefully there'll be more times. Thank you all of y'all who have joined us and suffered through some of the glitches and listened to us. Please join us again next time.
This is our rebuilding year, Dan, and we are really happy that we were able to have the parade this year. The weather has cooperated, and we just couldn't be happier that, hey, what do you know? After 2 years, we got the parade running again. We're back. It's going to be even better next year. We hope you all can be with us.
So for Laguna Beach, the American Legion, and Little Mexican Productions Inc., thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, sir.
See you next year, everybody.